I expect the results to be a bit mixed, so I think certain markets are going to still have some downside in terms of, or cost of property is going to fall a little bit. In Alberta still, I think there's still a little bit of pain and suffering to come there. But more broadly across Canada, I expect that valuations, especially for the top quality product, will hold or perhaps even improve a little bit, because there's a large amount of capital that's still looking for real estate, because that asset class works really well within the broader context of their portfolio.
That is a good question. From our perspective, based on our activities and what we observed during the course of last year and now in the first few months of this year, two things. One, markets are not homogeneous, so valuations will differ by market and by property sector. The second is that as we sit here today, relative to the abundancy of capital and its pricing, we don't see any pressure upwards or downwards materially on overall valuations. They may vary by sector and by market, and as a firm, that's where we really place our emphasis.
In Bentall Kennedy's view, the Canadian market over the last 2 or 3 years has become trifurcated. So we really have three markets. We have Toronto and Vancouver, outsized growth. That's where you see the immigration. That's where you see the capital flows flowing. You have the Alberta markets, which are clearly challenged, particularly acute in office. And then you have the rest of Canada. And the rest of Canada is muted growth, would be the way to characterize that. So when you look at valuations, they very much follow that same trajectory, where the values in Toronto, the values in Vancouver, just like house prices that we all see, have continued to escalate, and much less so elsewhere. And obviously some valuation hits in the office sector, in particular in Calgary.
Well, very interesting question. Globally, Canada looks so strong versus all the other countries, really G7, G8, even go to G20. Canada may have some of the best prospects for value growth through the balance of this year. We're seeing that based on all the global capital coming into Canada. 2016 was a record year for global capital into this country, so we always knew it was going to come. We didn't think necessarily 2016 would be such a great exclamation mark. But this is something where when we look at our business at CBRE globally, Canada, our business, real estate asset values, I think it's going to be another great year. And the more core the asset is, the more likely it will to be to hold its value and even get more valuable.